Hey y'all, happy Monday at 7:01. It just turned to 7:02. I'm doing good. I am happy and proud of myself. And once again, just like I tell y'all, I am going to celebrate even the tiniest of wins because guess what? It's a win. So, yay, I'm back. I need to be keeping track. I don't even know how many weeks in a row that I have been kind of on target since I recommitted, but it feels good. It feels good to have a little bit of more structure and not kind of flying by the seat of my pants and saying yes to every single thing. So therefore, I'm not able to say yes to me and my lifers and the things that I want to do. So just kind of trimming back the fat and getting back to the grassroots of why I do what I do. So it is just super, super, super exciting. So I'm glad to be here yet one more Monday that the Lord has sent. A blessing to each and every one of us. I just want to thank you guys for joining and also remind you to please share with all of the wonderful women in your life, whether it's your sisters, co-workers, friend girls, your daughters, your aunties, whoever. Share. There is something for everyone. And even if there's something that doesn't necessarily hit home for the individual who is watching, there is probably somebody they need to hear it for, because we are our sisters keepers and we need to share information with each other to help each other thrive and learn and grow. So y'all make sure you go ahead and hit that little share, get it on your page, tag some people, and be sure to interact with me. I love chit-chatting with y'all, chopping it up, as my son says, and just getting that feedback and input from you guys each and every week. It's kind of what keeps me going and lets me know that I'm on the right track. Each and every week when I get text messages, emails, inbox, whatever it is from people saying, girl, that was for me today. I was just talking about this with somebody yesterday or today, or I was just thinking about that, or I was just struggling with it. That was for me. That is what keeps me going. That is what keeps me grounded. And that is what kind of lets me know that I am on the right track. And so I absolutely love and appreciate each and every one of you, not only for showing up on Mondays and engaging and being there for support, but for the behind the scenes, after the broadcast, the phone calls, the text messages, all that. I appreciate you guys, because what I know for sure is you don't have to share with me what your feelings are, right? Because I come on here voluntarily. No one's making me come on here. Nobody's paying me to come on and do these Facebook Lives. It's something I just decided to do. So no one has any obligation to me to share. I mean, I ask, but you don't have to. But the fact that people do is just awesome. And it only helps me to continue to grow. It gives me insight for future broadcasts and topics. And so it's wonderful because it does take a village. And I know most of the time when we hear that phrase, we think about raising children, but in all actuality, there's not much that it doesn't take a village to do. And that includes blossoming and growing into your second part of your life. It takes a village of women to help us learn about ourselves and accept the changes in ourselves. It takes a village to help us grow our business. And, you know, really, when you think about it, it just takes a village. No man is an island. And even though so many of us have tried, and hopefully not many still trying, but to do it on our own, it is so much easier, whatever it is that you're doing, when you have a support system to help you along the way. And so without any further ado, I want to introduce our topic for the day, which is, are you aging gracefully or gratefully? And before I get too much into what we're talking about, I'll just kind of explain too my look today. When I decided to speak on this topic, I'm like, you know what? This will be a perfect time for me to rip off the veil and come as my authentic, raw, clean face, natural hair, fresh out the shower, just me self, because that is something that isn't always the easiest for everyone to do when you enter into a certain age group. And so I'm like, you know what? If I'm going to get on here talking to my lifer tribe about growing old gracefully or gratefully, what I'm not going to do is get on with a bunch of concealer and foundation and hair, with whatever hair I decided to wear. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to come to y'all and practice what I'm about to preach. Not saying that there's anything wrong with that stuff on occasion, but as we get into it, it's just the dependency upon it, or the fact that we feel like we need it in order to be present in the world. Like we're not comfortable without it. We have to be comfortable in our own skin. LYFE, life, love yourself first explicitly. And so that's why I decided, you know what? Monday is going to go ahead and be my wash day. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to rock my little curly Afro puffs. I'm not going to have on any type of hairdo, like not even a natural hairdo, twist out, nothing. I'm just coming on straight out the shower. So it was great. I finished doing everything I needed to do business-wise at 3:30 today, threw on the sneakers, did a 4-mile run, came in, took my shower, washed my hair, all the things. And so y'all are just getting me fresh-faced, wet hair out the shower, because we are talking about growing old gracefully or gratefully. And so when I first posted the topic, I did have a couple of women respond and say, hey, I'm doing both, and whatever, which is cool. And there is nothing, I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with growing old gracefully, but as we start to take a deep dive in this today, let's just think about the thoughts that come to our mind when someone says that someone is aging gracefully. Normally, and correct me if I'm wrong, and I'm not saying all the time, I don't like to use those definitive terms. So I'm just saying normally, most of the time, in my experience, when you hear the term that a woman is growing old gracefully, it normally pertains to her looks. So you think about growing old gracefully, then you would think about maybe the woman doesn't have, a lot of what we would say unsightly wrinkles or crow's feet. Maybe the décolleté is not showing a lot of age. So she's a woman maybe who is 75, 80 years old and doesn't look a day over 50. That's growing old gracefully. And we all, I guess, have the desire to grow old gracefully. We don't want to wear our age on our face or our body. We don't want people to be able to tell how old we are just from looking at us. We only want them to know our age through our wisdom and our knowledge. Hey, Vonda. So we want to grow old gracefully. They always say you never ask a woman her age, and why are we so, why is that so taboo? And so it has a lot to do with the looks. And I used to always say, I am not going to grow old gracefully, because also with grace means you're just kind of taking things as they come. And I'm like, no, I'm going to be kicking and screaming all the way. And so we do certain things to kind of maintain our beauty and our youth, to grow old gracefully, because it has everything to do with how we appear when people see us. And so we use the lotions and the potions, and we try to keep up and with the styles, and not, look matronly or not look, like a school marm, whatever it is. We want to grow old gracefully. We would want to kind of just slide into our senior years without anyone even noticing. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. Trust and believe. When I got out of that shower today and I washed my face, I put on my vitamin C serum. I put on some moisturizer with some hyaluronic acid, as she says in the commercial, and you do need to break that down. Some retinol, I do all the things, I put a scoop of collagen powder in my protein shake, because I do want to take care of my skin. I put on my sunscreen now, which I used to be a horrible breaker of that rule. Always wanting to tan, never putting on the sunscreen, but I have learned different. Had a little scare, thought I had skin cancer, went to the dermatologist, found out it was not indeed, thank you, Jesus, skin cancer, but it was sun damage. So I have been scared straight. So I do put on my SPF 50. No longer am I out there baking with coconut oil on me. I want to take care of my skin. I want to take care of my body, but I have learned to accept the fact that I'm getting older. It's not always easy. And I do still fight it from time to time, but I also don't have a problem coming before you all today. This is me. This is 49-and-a-half-year-old Stae. This is no concealer, no nothing, no foundation. I ain't even try to put down these edges. This is me, and I'm okay with that. I'm more than okay with that. I'm good with that. If someone took my makeup case away, I'd still be good. Just leave me my chapstick. Like, I'm good. However, we do, hey, Jody, we do still want to present ourselves in a way where we don't look, quote unquote, old. And there's nothing wrong with that, except for when it stifles you, when you are obsessed with it, when you worry about it, cry about it, do things that are unhealthy to keep from looking your age. That's when it becomes a problem. And that's when you are only concerned with aging gracefully rather than aging gratefully. And so let's talk about, what does aging gratefully look like? Well, aging gratefully. Hey, sis, how are you, Felicia? It's so good to see you pop up, Miss Marriage Mentors. I love it. Hey, girl. But growing old or aging gratefully means that even if I do look every second of my age that I've been on this earth, I'm okay with that. It means that my confidence in how I show up in the world is not contingent upon how many lines or wrinkles are on my face. Growing old or aging gratefully means that I am more grateful and thankful for the fact that he just woke me up this morning than I am about how I look this morning when I wake up. Growing old or aging gratefully means that I am just thankful and grateful to be here, to even have an opportunity to worry about how I look. And even if I don't look my best, even if I don't look like my other sisters who are my same age, even if I have a couple of aches and pains, I'm still grateful. And I'm not going to let the way that I look dictate how I feel. Those two really should never even go together. How you look and how you feel. Like, I love when people say, thank God I don't look like what I've been through. But guess what? Even if you look like what you've been through, you're still here and you've been through it and you wear it like a badge of honor. Because some people, if you think about it, maybe do look like what they've been through. Maybe they've been through some horrific accident that's left their face scarred. Maybe they've had some kind of illness that leaves them, where they don't have the skin that they used to have, or maybe they're walking with a limp. And so it's kind of obvious that they've been through something. Guess what? That's okay too, because we've all been through something. And sometimes that something you've been through is going to manifest itself in the way you look. And that's okay. We need to be at a point in our lives where we're just grateful to be here. We're grateful for the breath in our body. We're grateful for the opportunity to share with others what we've been through. And we are aging gratefully. Don't get so caught up in how you look that it distracts you from being grateful. I know quite a few women, unfortunately, who have gone through some things that were not the healthiest, whether it was taking some kind of pills, some kind of procedures. And again, I have nothing against procedures. Now, pills is one thing that's kind of with me, but again, no judgment here. But I don't have any problem with certain procedures or any procedures as long as you do it in a safe way. Like, I can't say that I won't ever go get some fat sucked out of my love handles. I can't say that I won't ever, do some sort of beauty, whatever, but it's about doing it safely. And I know people who have gone the lengths of going overseas and having procedures done because it can be so costly here, so expensive, and they wind up getting sick and in a worse position than they were before. They end up with some kind of toxicity in their bloodstream. They end up with some sorts of what's the word I'm looking for? Infection, things that just aren't worth it. Don't ever let your vanity, which there is no place for vanity in the kingdom of God, first and foremost. Don't let your vanity cause you to make poor decisions about your life and your body because you're not grateful for just being here. That something that you're doing just to look better causes you to no longer have the life that you should be so grateful for. Another thing about growing old gracefully is just being grateful for the wisdom and the knowledge that you've gained from the time that you've been on earth. And most of us are around the same age, late 40s, early 50s, whatever. We could still have half of our lives ahead of us. So why would you spend what could be 50 more years focusing on the fact that you no longer look like you did when you were 20? The fact of the matter is, that's not how things were intended to be. Like, I see all the time where they're like, oh yeah, 50 is the new 20, 60 is the new 40. Well, you know what? 50 is 50, 40 is 40. In some way, shape, or form, you are going to feel your age. You are going to see your age, and that's okay. The thing that you need to be concentrating on more so than how you look is how you feed and move your body. You need to put healthy food in your body. You need to get up and move around. Make sure that all of your equipment is still working to the best of its ability. Keep yourself hydrated. Keep yourself, with your vitamins and all that, because guess what? When you take care of yourself internally, it is going to show up on the outside. There is no lotion, potion, no procedure, anything that can have your skin looking healthier than just a healthy exercise routine and healthy eating. Drink plenty of water. Keep yourself hydrated in that way. And then you don't have to worry about, dry skin and things like that. There are simple things that we were meant to do. Hey, Casey, what's up, Ladybug? There are things that we were meant to do to take care of our temples that will allow us to age gracefully if we focus more internally. And that's so funny. It just kind of popped in my head as I was saying it. It's always more about the internal. It's more about the internal when we think about health and beauty. It's more about the internal when we think about health and wellness overall. It's more about the internal when we think about relationships and spirituality. If you keep that in your mind and age gratefully and just be grateful for the temple that you have, and you take care of it internally. You take care of it internally by feeding it right. You take care of it internally by feeding your spirit. You take care of it internally by making sure that you have the proper vitamins and all that. I'm telling you, sis, if you take care of the inside, it's going to show up on the outside. It's going to show up with that beautiful smile on your face and those plump cheeks. And take care of those teeth, brush them a couple of times a day, keep up with your dental hygiene, go to the dentist every 6 months, do all the things, and you will age both gracefully and gratefully. Because what happens is a lot of times we neglect ourselves in so many ways for so many years, and then time kind of catches up with us and we notice, oh, maybe I shouldn't have smoked for those 15 years, or maybe I shouldn't have drank so much. Maybe I should have made sure I stayed more hydrated with water and not so much with vodka. I'm just saying, I'm not, being facetious, because I'm guilty of some of that too. So y'all already know when y'all with Stae, it's not about you, it's about us, and most of the time about me. But sometimes we wait too long to realize how maybe we've neglected ourselves internally. And so then we start seeing the signs of it externally, and we want to go all over the deep end to try to fix it, when really there are simple fixes. Change your diet, change your exercise. a lot of it also has to do with change your mindset. Change your way of thinking. Stop thinking, oh, I'm getting so old. Oh, I'm not, looking as good as I used to. Oh, what'd you say? Stop calling you. Sis, you know how we do. You know how we do. We just keep it 100. I'm calling me out too. Absolutely. Because like I said, this is something that I struggle with. I can admit there was a time in my life where I did suffer from vanity. And if I can tell y'all a little bit about myself and my past without being too long-winded, is I kind of grew up with a little bit of an ugly duckling syndrome. I grew up in a very nice looking family. To what most people would say, very aesthetically pleasing, nice looking family, the common things people look for that they say that someone is beautiful. And so I had a lot of female cousins and a lot of male cousins, the pretty boys, and then the girls with their long hair and whatever. And I didn't quite look like my cousins or even my sister for that matter. And there were just certain things about my features that did not seem to be very pleasing at that time as I was growing up. I was teased for my big lips, which, now people getting injections to get these lips. Anyway, Angela Jolie was not the first one with them. I've had these same lips since I was like 2, but I had a little bit of a hang up about my big lips. I was teased about my big forehead, and then here comes Stae, and that's okay too. But there were just a lot of things that I kind of had, a little self-confidence issues about. So I grew up always feeling like I wasn't pretty enough. I wasn't cute enough. I didn't look like my cousins. I didn't look like my sister. I didn't have the hair like them. And so it was a lot of things. So it's a lot of stuff for a different show, which I will do a show all about that type of stuff. But anyway, once I started coming into my own, and my grandmother told me when I was young, she told me, you are going to be an adult a lot longer than you are a child, Lord willing. And the things that you worry about and concern you now are going to be your attributes as you get older. And she was so right about that. And I wish she was still here for me to thank her. And, she already knew she was going to be right. But I love my grandmother for that, because even though I didn't quite get it then, she still was giving me that little vote of confidence, that boost that I needed just to be as okay as I could be. Hey, Tam. So anyway, with that being said, once I started to come into my own and accept myself, and I learned to love myself first explicitly, flaws and all, I learned to look at myself in the mirror, and instead of seeing the things that I thought weren't so cute, I was able to pick out the things about me that I absolutely loved. And then before I knew it, I was accepting this whole face and this whole body. Because another thing too, for those of you who know me personally, I'm a tall woman. I'm 5'8", 5'8.5", and I've been this height since 6th grade. So there's another thing I got teased about. I was taller than most of my teachers in elementary school. And so that wasn't the easiest thing. And I was wearing a size 8, 9 shoe, so just the stuff. And we all go through some of it in one way or another. But anyway, once I became confident in myself, once I became happy with myself and didn't mind how I looked at all, I let vanity creep in after that. So I went from being so insecure, and no one would know it because I've always had this big personality, always been kind of an alpha female type. So I suffered in silence with a lot of this, but the internal, like I said, was eating me alive. But once I kind of got over it and realized, girl, you ain't too bad. You actually kind of cute, I let vanity creep in. So I had this part where I was grateful, but then I was like, you know what? I can rock some high heels, because I would never wear heels until I was like in my mid-30s. I can rock some high heels. I can put on a little dress. I can put on some makeup. I can do my hair. Oh, you're kind of cute. Vanity crept in. And so that's when I started doing all the things that I shouldn't have been doing things to my skin, started plucking the eyebrows, doing all these things instead of just letting myself be. And so then the pendulum had to shift again, where I realized, why are you doing that? I mean, I'm relaxing my hair, could not have, not one curl in my hair, flat ironing it every day. Just, stuff that was not healthy for me, wasn't healthy for my skin, wasn't healthy for my hair, because I was more into growing old, gracefully and not looking my age than I was in aging gratefully. I needed to just take that time to be grateful to God for opening my eyes, allowing me to accept myself. But instead, I just said, oh, yeah, you are kind of cute. So what else can you do to yourself? And that's where we mess up, dyeing my hair, over processing my hair. I mean, just so many things trying to be cute instead of just being grateful for the gift that God gave me, which was allowing me to accept myself. I went overboard. And I think that a lot of people suffer from that from time to time. And so I am here today to say, time out for all that. We good. Do what you want to do when you want to do it, but don't feel like it's anything you have to do all the time. Know that however, like what's that song? I woke up like this. However you wake up is good enough. If you want to do a little more, do it, but don't feel like you have to. We are perfect just the way we are. God created us the way we are. He made no mistakes. We are all uniquely who we are. We were all not meant to look like Halle Berry. And who said that she was the standard of beauty anyway? We did. For whatever reason, society puts that in our heads, which she is a beautiful woman, but you're a beautiful woman. I'm a beautiful woman. The next woman next door is a beautiful woman. And we need to quit trying to do so many things to alter ourselves and whatever to fit something that who said that was the right way anyway? Because guess what? However we are is the right way because that is how God created us. And as we get older, things are going to change, but it just makes you look more wise, more distinguished. You are a woman of a certain age, and that is okay. As a matter of fact, it's way more than okay. It's perfect. Let me see what y'all are saying over here. Yes, Vonda said, I want to share this one. Being confident in your natural state is so beautiful. It is, and it's so liberating. I mean, when I decided, and I had to make a decision because I didn't know. I had to decide to accept myself just the way I was, just the way I am. And so I'm going to tell y'all another story about me. I had an issue with my hair where I had went to go get my hair done and someone overprocessed my hair and left color on my hair for too long. And so my hair just like fell out like the next day. As a matter of fact, it was done on the day of, I'm not even going to say when it was because I don't even want to possibly call the person out who did it. But anyway, my hair started coming out like literally the next day in chunks. And so I had to cut my hair very short, which I didn't mind doing that. I've done that a couple of times, but I was just kind of pissed because I wasn't planning on cutting it then. And my hair was like to my shoulders. So anyway, cut all my hair off, started wearing a sew-in, growing my hair back. And I decided during that time, which this has been about 9 years ago, that I was just going to go natural, no more relaxers or whatever, even though I had never really had a lot of problems with relaxers because my hair is pretty strong, pretty healthy, always has been. I just decided that's what I was going to do. However, what I said to a few people, a few of my close friends is like, look, I'm going natural. I'm not getting any more relaxers or anything, but I will never wear my hair in its natural state. So I'm going to get it flat ironed all the time, whatever, because I just cannot imagine wearing my hair in its natural state. Again, I realized after probably about 5 years, I think it took me, because I ain't ashamed. I'm going to tell y'all the truth. Before I started wearing my hair in its natural state, and so many people didn't even realize my hair was natural. They were like, you didn't have to do the big chop. It didn't take you any time to transition. Like, what made you? Because they didn't even realize. They thought I had just gone natural. I'm like, no, my hair has been natural for years, but I was just getting straightened. But it was at one moment when I don't know, I can't really remember the conversation I had with myself, but it just kind of popped in my head one day. I had to ask myself the question, why won't you wear your hair in its natural state? And I had to be real honest with myself and say, because I just don't think my hair is cute like that. And so then I had to think about how I teach so many other women about loving themselves. And I'm like, how can I be teaching this to other people, but here is my hair growing out of my head the way it naturally does, and I don't feel like it's good enough for anyone else to see. And from that moment on, I decided I am going to start trying to wear my hair in its natural state. And it is a chore because it's not easy because it takes a lot of maintenance. But I was just determined that I was going to do it. Like not every day, not all the time, because I cannot, my whole life cannot be about my hair either. And if I wore it in its natural state every day, that's all I would be doing is my hair, because I'm just not a hair person. But I just had to challenge myself. I had to make sure that Miss Running for Your Life had the confidence to go out with her curls and coils. I had to make sure that Stae Hall was a woman of her word and not a hypocrite, and that I could walk out in any type of event and be completely okay with my natural hair. And once I started doing that, it was just so liberating. Like that was a time where I had to challenge myself. I had to check me and make sure that I was not only talking the talk, but I was walking the walk. And there are things as we get older and we start to notice things about ourselves, we got to check ourselves. And not because it really matters that much, because I wasn't bothering anybody. Nobody was questioning me. I don't owe it to anybody to wear my hair natural. I can do whatever I want to do. It was just the fact that I needed to look in the woman in the mirror because I knew it was something internal. I knew I was still being haunted from being that little girl who was called nappy headed and why don't you have good hair like your cousins, and oh, you got hair just like your daddy. I knew that those things were still haunting me. And any time that I run up against something that I know is still something that I'm struggling with from my past, the moment that shows up for me, I'm going to challenge myself to overcome that. Hey, Trina, how are you, sis? So good to see you. Thank you for tuning in. And hey, everybody who's on, please remember to hit me with that hashtag lifer. I know I didn't say it earlier. Vonda, you usually get it for me, and maybe you did. I just didn't see it. So I'm not even going to act like you wasn't on your job. And plus, you like, what job, girl? You don't pay me. I just do this. But yeah, y'all, please hit me with that hashtag lifer. But that's just something that I do. When I notice that I'm still being plagued, when I'm still being haunted by something in my past that I thought I was delivered from, but it shows up again, I'm going to challenge myself. I'm never just going to say, oh, okay, it don't matter. I mean, it's just hair. No, there was a reason behind it. So now I'm completely fine with the fact that I don't wear my natural hair all the time, because the reason is I don't really know how to do natural hair. And so it is a chore for me. It takes time. I'm not a hair person. So when I can do it, I do it. When I can't, I will do whatever I need to do. But at least it's a choice. It's not that I'm ashamed. It's not that I'm embarrassed. It's not that I feel inferior. It's a choice. And that's how I choose to live my life and age gratefully, is by knowing that at my age, whatever I do and however I look is going to be a choice. It's not going to be dictated by society or how other people may perceive me. It's not going to be dictated by other people's expectations, because what I do know for sure is I'm almost half 100. I did not live 49 and a half years old to be grown, get out my parents' house, have my own, this and that, for other people to still be telling me what to do and how to look and what I can wear and can't wear. When I was growing up, I didn't want my parents telling me what to wear, what not to wear. So what I look like now at 49 and a half years old, not wanting to do things or having to look a certain way because what somebody else is telling me to do. I fought a long time to be able to make these decisions. So therefore, I am going to show up the way that it's most comfortable for me and not go through a whole lot of antics to look like somebody I'm not, because that's one thing. Some people, you don't even know what they really look like. And again, I'm not judging. I know sometimes it sounds like I'm judging. I'm just speaking what I think. It just is what it is. But I just don't have that time all the time, but I'm good with it. Like, I'm never going to say, oh, I didn't have time to do my makeup, so I can't do my live today. And that's what I want y'all to do. I'm never going to say, oh, I didn't get my hair done this week, so I can't go to this event. No, I'm going to show up at Stae Hall, whether it's made up Stae Hall or regular Stae Hall, natural Stae Hall with a wig on, whatever. But I'm still me, because it starts from the inside. So there's nothing I can do to my face, nothing that I can put on my head that is going to not make me be Stae Hall. And that's what we need to recognize, is that if we are having issues showing up as ourselves, why is that? Why don't we think that we, whoever we are, however we are, is just as good no matter how we look? Let me check out some of these comments. Hey, Wallace, thank you so much for hitting me with that hashtag Lifer Boo. I love it. We got a man on the Lifer tribe, y'all. Yes, Trina, it's a job doing natural hair. It has to be trained. Now, my girl Trina, she has natural hair and she's good at taking care of it. And her hair always looks cute. Vonda, the same way. She has beautiful, beautiful dreads. And the thing is, you know, if that's your ministry and you can do hair, then that's fine. And again, but I can't. I'm bad at it. Trina said, I look like this all the time, no makeup, natural hair. Yes, and Trina is beautiful. And she definitely is growing aging gracefully and gratefully. No one can even believe Trina's age because she looks like she is 15 years old. But that's the thing too. I think a lot of times when you haven't worn, like I didn't even start wearing makeup until I was like 45. So I think that can also, you know, take a toll on your skin. And when you do those things, it's also a regimen. Like you can't just put on makeup and that's it. You have to make sure that you're taking it off properly, moisturizing your skin. Like there's a lot that comes with it. And if you are willing to do all that and take the time to do all that, more power to you. Some days I am and some days I'm not. I'm only here to say is for the days when you don't have time for doing that, be okay with that. Be okay showing up to work with just your chapstick on. I mean, unless you're a supermodel, I don't know any company that says, well, I think for flight attendants, they do have to wear makeup. I'm not sure. But anyway, y'all know what I mean. I mean, your job is not paying you to come made up. Be okay. Challenge yourself. Be okay with sharing your age if someone asks you. Don't be ashamed of your age. Age gratefully. Be grateful for every one of those years, months, days, hours, minutes, seconds that you have been on this earth. Because guess what? From the moment you took your first breath, not another breath was promised to you. So if you got to the point where you've taken 1,000,000 trillion, billion breaths, how could you be anything but grateful, no matter what you look like, no matter how stiff your joints might be? Be grateful. No matter how dark the circles might get, you earn those, girl, no matter how deep the smile lines, no matter how many crow's feet, whatever it is, they're yours. Own them. Be grateful for them. They tell a story just like the rings on a tree. Be grateful. And again, I'm not saying don't glam up when you want to. I'm not saying if you want to glam up every day, that's wrong. I just want you to know why you do it and be okay with that, and to be okay with not doing it if you can't or if you don't want to. And so I hope that today's talk was valuable for someone. I pray that we are all growing old and aging gratefully. I want us all to be grateful for every day that we have been on this earth and looking forward to many, many more without the stress and strain of, how do I look? Do I look old? Am I too fat? Am I whatever? You are perfect. As long as you are taking care of you from the inside out, you look exactly the way God intended you to look, and it is good. So show up, girl, however you want to show up. Just be okay with it. I want to ask you guys before I tune off to make sure you jump over to my YouTube channel. You can go to YouTube and find me at Stae Hall. All of these talks that we have are also broadcast live on YouTube, but on YouTube, there is a library and it makes them very easy to find. So therefore, if you ever want to look at another video, if you miss something, if you want to share it with someone, you don't have to go to my Facebook page and scroll, because y'all know I stay on Facebook. So I am posting every day, sometimes several times a day, and there might be a video that you want to share with someone or you want to look at again, and you'll have to scroll and scroll and scroll. Well, on YouTube, it's different because all it is my video. So I really, really, really would love for you guys to go over to YouTube and subscribe to my channel. And we're getting ready to launch the Hallway with Wallace, and YouTube is going to be the major platform for us as well. So I want to start kind of migrating and transitioning the whole Lifer tribe over to YouTube. I really would appreciate the subscribers. And again, I think it would be a little bit easier for you all to navigate as well. Yes, Tam, just chapstick. That's all, chapstick, because you can't have dry lips. I mean, even aging gracefully, I mean, you want your lips to be nice and moisturized. But yeah, guys, if you can just go over to YouTube real quick, just subscribe to the page. It'll give you alerts. And I'm going to start putting out more content than just our weekly Queen Talks here on Facebook. I'm going to start uploading more videos on YouTube again about all different topics. And so I would just love to have you guys over on YouTube. Subscribe if you have not already. Guys, this is always a pleasure. I love chopping it up with y'all each and every week. Please continue to engage. Give me more topics to speak about. I was sharing with Tam and Vonda. I think you were in this chat that I was chatting with a couple of my sisters via text yesterday, and we were just talking about the fact that it is absolutely okay not to be okay, that we don't always have to be warrior women and strong all the time. We're human beings with emotions and feelings, and we take care of so much and have so much on us that we need to know that it's okay not to be okay. And so when one of my sisters put it in the chat, I think it was Adrian, I said, oh my gosh, that is an awesome Facebook Live topic. And so then my good girlfriend Tam had posted on Facebook today, it's okay not to be okay. And I'm like, okay, God, this is in less than 24 hours. Two of my soul sisters have mentioned this. I need to take a deep dive into this and have a Facebook Live where I also invite a couple of my sisters to come on. And so I had to share that with Tam today. So it's going to be coming up soon. We're just going to talk about the whole mental health and how we have to nurture and care for ourselves mentally in order to thrive, and that it is okay not to be okay. And sometimes we got to send out that SOS, save our sister, to come and pull us into shore. And that's completely fine, because like I said in the beginning of this video, it takes a village, and none of us should be out there struggling, trying to do it all on our own, and dealing with mental health things and not having anyone out there that we can say, hey, I'm not okay, I need you. So be looking for that. Tam has already agreed to be on the show with me that day. I'm going to kind of see who else wants to be on. Maybe Vonda will want to pop on, Adrian. It'll be good. We'll just have a nice little round table. I just had an idea about that because, I'm not going to reveal it yet, but I'm going to see what I can make work. But yeah, and that's a great topic. And so that was definitely confirmation to have that pop up for me twice in less than 24 hours. And that lets me know too, that that is a subject that somebody needs to hear. Somebody needs to hear some real, authentic, raw, no bars held women shooting straight from the hip, talking about times when they haven't been okay. Because somebody needs to know that you don't have to do it on your own. You don't have to keep it to yourself. So I want to get that popping sooner rather than later. And so let's see, perfectly imperfect. Yes, Vonda, we all are. That's why I say flaws and all, because ain't none of us perfect. Felicia said, you're awesome. Great talk. Oh, thank you. Keep on keeping on. I love that. Thank you, Felicia. You're so sweet. I am going to keep on keeping on as long as the Lord sees fit, and as long as y'all will put up with me. And even if y'all won't put up with me, I'll be on here just talking to me, because somebody need to hear something I have to say. But anyway, Lifer Tribe, I love you all to bits and pieces. It has just been another amazing Monday. Already looking forward to next Monday. If you haven't already, please hit me with the hashtag Lifer. Be sure to follow me on all social media at Stae Hall. Please go to YouTube, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification button so you'll be notified every time I upload a new video. And as I always say, be kind to one another, love one another, but never forget to live your life. LYFE. Love yourself first explicitly. Love you guys, and I'll see you soon.